Women want a man to lead. At least the women I know. Christian women, biblical women, godly women, traditional women, they want a man to lead. And we want to know that you can make decisions. And we want to be a passenger princess. We want to not think when we're out with you. And dating is so hard because, honestly, just make a plan. If you're going to ask a girl on a date, just make a plan. Okay, what time are you available? Great, let me find a place for us to meet. And a girl will just swoon. Honestly, it's like bare minimum, but it's not happening. It's rare, and it's really frustrating. Like, what happened to the art of asking a girl out? No, none of this. Oh, I'm being spontaneous. Let's go do this. No, especially from the app. I am meeting you. For the first time. I've never met you in my life. You could be serious. I'm not doing this spontaneous stuff. It's also rude. Remember, like, back in the day, you'd hear that, you know, if you wanted to take a lady out, you would pick her up at her house with flowers. I get it. It's an app. You don't know if you like this girl yet. You don't know if you have a connection.
Yo! Women use simps against attractive men. When women can't get or control a man who's attractive, they use simps to feel better and try to make other men jealous. Simps aren't men who are good to or respect women. They are men who will sacrifice anything, their self-respect, for an attractive woman. Attractive men refuse to simp. That is actually a huge part of why they are attractive, because they have self-respect. This can confuse a lot of women who aren't used to men who have self-respect. It often stems from their own insecurity and feeling small because of the attractive man. He has levels of security that she is not capable of. So when she can't get or control him, she uses simps against him. She'll suck them dry of validation, attention, effort, resources to feel better, worthy, like she matters, and to flex on other people. Many times to make men they do find attractive jealous. She competes with presence on the backs of simps, using them as leverage to feel powerful, when it's really insecurity. Insecurity seeks to control. It comes from ego, wanting to feel secure through validation. Except attractive men see through this nonsense, that it's just a false portrayal of value, that it's hidden insecurity, and to let it be. Even if he feels a little jealous, he will never sacrifice his self-respect, no matter how pretty she is. Watch my YouTube for more. One-on-one calls in the bio. Drizzle.
A level of disdain towards women with kids, we are like at an all-time high. And I don't remember experiencing that when I had my son coming up dating.
I'm Gen X, and when I was growing up, dating a single mother wasn't a big deal. I mean, it was a big deal, but it wasn't really something that we talked about. Now, I can't speak for all Gen Xers, but I am saying me, the guys I knew, and people around me, we didn't have those conversations. Nobody sat us down and told us, don't date a single mother. I'm pretty sure some Gen Xers had that conversation, but the conversation back then wasn't nowhere like it is now. Now that's all you hear is men screaming, don't date single mothers. We didn't have podcasts or platforms telling us the whole story, helping us understand what comes with being a stepfather. So a lot of us were blind. We didn't know what we were doing, but this new generation of men, they got that. This is why a lot of these younger men are not doing it. They're staying away from it. I would see a girl walking down the street with a baby stroller. I would go over there and talk to her like the baby wasn't even there. See a girl at the mall with a kid. I didn't care about the kid. I still was going to go talk to her. My second girlfriend had a baby and I jumped right in that relationship, didn't even think twice about it. I was going to be a stepfather to her kid. Wasn't even a thought. I was just going to do it. I'm only saying that to say, I believe the reason why so many women are walking around now with kids who think it's not a big deal, who just expect you to deal with it, expect you to take it.
Now, give me the paycheck and take these children because I'm tired of dealing with this by myself.
They don't even acknowledge it like it's a problem. It's based on what we did in my generation. But it's different now. And I see so many women coming online talking about how men need to adapt to the way things are. And there is some truth to that. But you women gotta adapt too. Men are different. We are speaking to each other. And the reason why so many women are frustrated is because they were just used to men just going along with stuff. We never talked about what we want and what we need in a relationship. We never talked about what we expect. We didn't ask what you bring to the table. So the women were just running rampant. All they had to do was look good and the men were going to chase chase after them. And they hate channels like mine where I'm up here talking to men, trying to keep them from making the same mistakes that a lot of us made. But these channels are necessary. When it comes to single mothers, you'll never hear me saying you should never date a single mother. I just don't think a single man with no kids should date a single mother. I don't think that's a smart move. But I do believe being a stepdad could be a good thing. There are a lot of people out there right now who wouldn't be where they are if they didn't have a stepdad. So stepdads are important, but you just need to fully understand what you are going to get when you sign up for that. And growing up, we didn't have that. Again, I can't speak for all men, but I can tell you, me and my friends, we never talked about not dating a woman because she had kids. We just did whatever. We are the ones you need to blame for the women who don't believe having kids is an issue at all. I think that's based on what Gen X did. I'm just saying.
I don't think men like women anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that men desire us women anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Us real women. I don't think that they
What?
value us like they used to. Men aren't really putting out effort.
Why should
They're not
they?
putting out any type of effort like they used to. Taking a girl on a date becomes an issue. You know, spending money on a woman is an issue. You should have your own money as a woman. Going out to do something fun is an issue. Why don't you just come over to the house and we could do something in the house? I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm from New York, but I see women all over the globe complain about what's happening with men nowadays. Is it women that's not making themselves desirable anymore? Because there are beautiful women out here, beautiful women, ambitious women, caring women, nurturing women who are outside looking for love, and men that just can't keep up with that. Like,
What?
they're not communicating with them. They're not willing to hang out and do fun things.
Bro, I wouldn't like them either if I was a guy. And I don't like them either. And I'm a woman. They're annoying. They're not dating for love. They're dating for money.
All men cheat is one of the biggest lies women keep repeating to excuse their bad choices. Let's get this straight. Not all men cheat. Weak, immature men cheat, sure, but high value men who know their worth don't need to. They stay loyal to women who respect and cherish them. The problem isn't that all men cheat. The problem is that too many women keep choosing the same type of man over and over again, then painting every man with the same brush. That is not fair. Here's the part nobody wants to hear. You attract what you tolerate. If you're constantly drawn to chaos, don't be surprised when you get burned. If your type is the one who plays games, avoids commitment, and can't lead himself, then of course you're going to get hurt. But that is not all men. That is your pattern. And until you face that, the cycle will repeat. Stop saying all men cheat. Start asking why you keep choosing the ones who do. That's where the real healing begins. And like I've mentioned, if you are ready to break that cycle, I offer one-on-one coaching via Zoom. Message me for the link to secure your spot. And also, do you agree or disagree with the statement? Put it in the comments. Let's talk about it.
Guess the top 5 countries with the least submissive women.
The United States.
United States is number 1 on the list.
It's obvious.
In the US, dating comes with terms and conditions.
Canada?
Canada is number 4 on the list.
What am I supposed to do?
In Canada, they have high gender equality and independence metrics.
We're going to France.
We are going to France because it's number 2 on the list.
I could tell.
Challenging you is flirting in France.
Germany?
You're good. Germany is number 3 on the list.
Germans are just tough people in general.
If it's wrong, you'll hear immediately.
Australia.
Australia is number 5 on the list.
Wait, did I just go 5 for 5?
In Australia, they're chill, but not to be played with.
I'm not trying to play with them.
Women's standards today are completely unrealistic. Their list of what they want in a guy is too long. This is why you hear women saying, I can't find any good men. There are no good men out there. There are plenty of good men out there. They exist. They are in this world. They always have been, but you'll never find them if the list is too long. The data doesn't lie. There are more single women now than ever, and it is not like men have completely changed. In fact, I would argue that men are doing better than ever. It's so much easier for a man today to be successful. He has access to information in the internet to become a better guy. Men are leveling up everywhere, but if the list is too long, you'll never find that guy.
I mean, there was a clip where the lady, she seemed like she was nice enough. She was talking about, well, Christian women want men that, well, it's not just Christian women. Pretty much any woman. They want a man to lead. They want a man to make a decision. Like I said, she seems nice enough, but she seems to be forgetting, you know, because they keep on talking about men have lost the art of asking a girl out. Stuff like that. I mean, not really. The art has been destroyed. So it's not really an art anymore. It's really, you can't just go in, like say for instance, you can't just go in your room and paint something, right? And then say, okay, this is my art. Here it is. And it be appreciated. Now it has to be, what colors did you paint with? Where did you get that paint from? Did you get it from Amazon? Because we don't accept Amazon here. It has to be from this store over here, and this, it's not even a middle ground store, like a moderate store where most people can go. It's a store that only, you know, the more wealthy can go. These are places that only the more wealthy frequent. Well, that's what I deserve. I deserve to be in an expensive art gallery with wealthy people. Well, that's why you're not getting asked out, because you cut off, literally. I think they say the 1% for a reason. They say the 1% for a reason, and that includes men and women. You're saying basically, I want a 1% man. Well, I mean, you know, financially speaking, you're already at a disadvantage. But then when you say I want him to be 6 foot, then you're cutting that 1% down to like half a percentage, and probably more than that. And then when you say he's got to make a certain amount of money, and we're just talking, we say, okay, 100,000 up to 250. Each and everything that you talk about is limiting your pool. That's why you're not getting approached, because all of these common guys aren't good enough for you.
Modern women exposed.
I'm not approaching y'all. I seen this comment. I was like, no, I gotta get my sis together, because this is not what it is for y'all. Okay, y'all think that y'all are not cute. Y'all think that these men just don't find y'all attractive. That is not the case. And let me tell you why. The big reason why, or a big reason why these men are not approaching you, is because you are not approachable, sis. Now, what do I mean? When I say that you're not approachable, I mean that you got RBF syndrome, okay, rest in bitch face. The whole time when men approach you, you're like thinking all these negative thoughts about them, and they feel that energetically, because energy is everything. I'm a firm believer in that. And you're walking around with the stinkest face. Sis, I wouldn't want to approach you either. Be more approachable, okay? And I'm not saying to be desperate, but give people space to come talk to you. Even if it's just as a friend, it does not hurt to smile. Crack a little smile, okay? Show a little tooth.
So all the men from my previous post saying that they have found peace by being alone and they're not trying to date because they just want peace. Are you trying to say that we don't bring peace to your life?
Oh, they didn't try to say anything. They flat out said that they'd rather be by themselves and peaceful than to be with some of the women that are available out there.
I have to disagree.
Of course there would be some women that have to disagree with that statement, because they simply cannot bring themselves to believe that many men, especially after seeing what's out there in the dating market, would rather be single, and they're actually happier being so.
I do not think that if a woman that you so desired was available to you, you would choose peace over commitment, good meals with conversation, and things like that. So, I'm gonna call your bluff.
Some women simply don't get it, because none of those things that were listed are actually what brings a man peace in a relationship. And if we're being really honest with ourselves, most men can get all of those perks of being in a relationship without actually being in one. So quite frankly, ladies, some of you are going to have to start accepting that men can be happy by themselves. I know that comes as a surprise.
There have been Black American women that have been surveilling passport bros in foreign countries. They go to Colombia, they go to Brazil and other locations, and they literally surveil the passport bros. It's okay. He's going over that bar over there.
Mm-hmm.
They doing over there and who they talking to. And then they bring back their reports to TikTok. Black women really like TikTok. So they bring reports over there and tell you who's over there. The locals with the freakum dress on, meet them on the tarmac at the airport, etc.
Yeah.
And many of these ladies are kind of I just saw a video last week, and she was a pretty girl too. FBA, if you will. She was over, I think she was in Colombia, Cartagena, I believe. And she was almost in tears because no American brother would they see her and they cross over the other side of the street. And that's the type of treatment that many of the American black women get when they go to these locales, because the brothers don't want no parts of them. And nothing personal, sis, but look, I was talking to a brother earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about, and I don't know if you've seen this. Kevin one time asked the question of the ladies, do you belong to black men or not? And then asked, why is it so hard for so many of you sisters to smile?
Yeah.
He got so many calls that day.
I remember that.
One in particular fought him tooth and nail about why I got to smile for you. Brother was on the dais today on my show. He said that right there, that was the final straw that broke the camel's back for me.
5-10% of men get 90% of the women on the dating apps.
Yeah.
Reason that's such a problem is because we're guys. You bring a 4 in here right now with a big butt or big boobs, bruh, I'll bend her over that table right there. I don't care. Now she thinks that she's on my level. I just did it because it was a random Tuesday and I got nothing to do. And so now she thinks that she's up this hierarchy. And I hate to put numbers to it, but this is the way that people understand it. She thinks she's here when most of the time the guy that does that would never actually date her. But because there's so much access to so many men and so many women on such a large scale, it creates this kind of dissonance between where people should be. That becomes dangerous as well, because now you have girls that are probably not in the league of a guy like you. They think they're in that league because that guy slept with her. But the truth of the matter is he just got nothing to do on a Tuesday night. Sorry. And now she won't give the normal guy a shot because she's been with the big boss. She's been with the successful guy. And it's a bunch of bullshit.
Well, you heard it from him right there, from the horse's mouth. This is one of the major problems with dating in 2024. Females have this delusion in their brain that they deserve to be with a 9 or a 10 just because he slept with her. And the reason he only slept with her because he was just bored and have nothing else to do on that random Tuesday night. But the average Joe, she thinks she's above him. So, yeah, that just about sums it up. Boy, these women.
I gotta tell you, man, the audacity of these women, these ugly women today, to be sliding in my DMs. Have you looked at yourself in the mirror? I mean, whenever I see an ugly woman slide in my DMs, it lowers my self-esteem a little bit. Cause I'm like, you woke up, looked in the mirror, washed your face, brushed your teeth, and after that, knowing that you're ugly, you still decided to slide in my DMs, talking about, oh, you need a queen king. You need somebody to cater to you. Who's going to take care of you? Not you, little ugly. Get out of my inbox. Stay out of my DMs. God forgive me for talking about your children, but I just got to say, like, if you looking broke, dusty, if you're not grade A, then I'm not coming to play. You know, you ugly women, you broken, dusty women gotta stop trying to get at me, because that's not it. And once again, like I said, God, forgive me for talking about your children, but, you know, hopefully you get the message. I'm not playing anymore. Ugly women, stay out of my DMs. A final word of caution. If you continue to slide in my DMs looking like you look, I'm going to start reporting y'all's accounts, and I'm going to do it multiple times. So like I said, if you're not grade A, you're not getting the bag, hopefully more than I'm getting, I'm about to report your account. It's making me want to get a restraining order, you guys. So just be careful with what you do. Have a good day.
What are 3 deal breakers for you in a relationship?
You got to have a passport because we can't go out of the country if you don't have a passport.
Oh.
You got to be active in the gym. And you can't be dating 10 different men at the same time.
Solid. Okay. So look, my ladies, based off that description and his appearance, if y'all would like to shoot y'all shot for him, please take a step forward. 3.
Oh my God, the quiet.
2.
Oh my God, it's so quiet.
Y'all don't be shy. 1. What's your name and age, and why do you take a step forward?
I'm Barbie. I'm 31, and I'm not going to the gym.
Like, so the gym is a complete deal breaker for you?
Complete deal breaker. I had a ex-wife that didn't do nothing, wasn't active, and I want someone.
Active, but I'm just, I'm not going to the gym right now.
What if in the future you don't see yourself like, y'all were to talk, you could potentially get into the gym, he could get you into the gym. Are you open to being in the gym?
No, I'm going to the surgery table. That's it.
Okay. No, what's your name and age, and why didn't you take a step forward?
Judy, 23. I ain't going to the gym either, baby. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not doing it.
She's somebody that's your type?
She's cool.
Okay. What about you? If excluding the gym, like off appearance, is he your type?
Yeah, he look cool. He like he got a little money in his pocket. I f with it.
But you just not gym.
I ain't going to no gym.
Okay.
Dang.
What's your name and age, and why didn't you take a step forward?
I'm Kira, I'm 20. I didn't take a step forward because that mohawk crispy. And I'm cool.
You got anything you want to say?
Yes.
To each his own.
Amen.
To all the men from my previous post saying that they have found peace by being alone and they're not trying to date because they just want peace. Are you trying to say that we don't bring peace to your life?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're saying. For a lot of men, being in a relationship with a woman is constantly reassuring her 24/7. Constantly have to tiptoeing around her expectations and needs. Constantly having to check in to an extreme level where he feels suffocated in the relationship. For a lot of men, they do want good relationships. Yes, they value those things. But you are competing against his peace when he's alone. If being alone is easier than being with you, then yeah, he'd rather just be single. And this doesn't mean you can't have needs, wants, expectations out of the relationship. You just gotta keep them reasonable. And blunt communication, oh my gosh, men love that. They don't want to play these weird head games where you get upset if he offers to take you out for ice cream, but he's not also in the mood for ice cream in that moment. So yeah, to answer your question, no, they don't think you bring peace.
Reasons women don't like the quote unquote nice guy is because nice guys tend to be incredibly toxic. A lot of nice guys have very, very poor emotional control. They have the inability to set boundaries, and they can just lash out and be or cruel, especially when the object of their affection is not reciprocating, the emotions or whatever they might be giving them. They also are usually very, very generous, and so they'll give and give and give with expectations, and then when those expectations aren't met, they're pissed off, and it's just irritating. This is what the nice guys in my DMs do when they come at me and they start with like really nice things, and then it starts becoming incredibly mean by the end because I wasn't as responsive. But I don't owe you anything, There's shows like Friends, it looks like, oh, well, Ross deserves Rachel. Whatever, he's the nice guy, and he deserves her. That's not how the world works. Like, nobody owes you anything. I certainly don't owe you anything. No woman owes you anything. That's why the girls don't like the nice guys. Because it's chaotic.
Why is it when girls don't like a guy, the guys always attribute it to the wrong things? You hear it all the time. They'll be like, nice guys finish last. See, being nice gets you nowhere when you're nice, girls don't like you. My guy, I can promise you if they don't like you, it's not because you were nice. There's probably other defects. There's probably other things about your personality that they don't like. The nice part was actually probably helping you. Oh, there was another example. I had this one guy friend, and he was telling me how I was telling him, I'm like, women, like, we love flowers. He's like, I don't believe women love flowers. I think you guys think you love flowers, but you don't actually like flowers. He was like, I used to give my ex flowers every month, and she still cheated on me. What makes you correlate, like, the flowers to the cheating? Like, she cheated because she was a cheater. A girl dumped you because she was always going to dump you. You being You being nice was not the differentiator here. If you were an asshole instead of a nice guy, that was not going to save your relationship because that person was never going to stay. You buying her or not buying her flowers was not going to stop her from cheating because she was always going to cheat. But that also doesn't mean that you should go into relationships and be like, well, nice guys finish last, and girls, what they say is not what they actually mean, so don't even bother getting them flowers, they don't need it. No, for the right girl, you're gonna want to do those things, because if you don't do those things, she's not gonna stay with you. If a guy I liked wasn't getting me flowers, I'm not dating you. If a guy I liked was an asshole to me, I ain't dating you. Why on earth? What makes you correlate these things that have nothing to do with why somebody left you? Why are you conflating the two things? Treat the women in your life well if you want to keep them. Don't listen to the Reddit single incels who are telling you don't be the nice guy, don't get her flowers, don't be good to her. You are taking advice from the worst demographic ever.
I married the nice guy. The guy who made me laugh. I married the guy who was stable, who didn't yell. I married the guy who wasn't afraid to get down on the floor and play with kids. I married the guy who laughed really loudly, who didn't seem to care if anybody was watching. I married the guy who was soft with me, who listened to me on the phone for hours.
Spoiler alert, guys, they are separated, heading towards divorce, which is so disappointing and exactly why so many will say that a man will sacrifice his happiness for his family and a woman will sacrifice her family for her happiness. And it is exactly when loyalty and commitment is not valued over individual happiness. In these situations, 100% of the time, the grass is not greener, and the woman ends up regretting the divorce. But what's unfair and unfortunate for men oftentimes that are committed, that are loyal, they have to go through this sort of loss, and that kind of stinks.
Guys don't approach girls at the bars anymore.
I do.
I don't expect guys to come up to me, but I know the caliber of my friends, and I know what those look like, and they are some stunning. If guys aren't going up to them, guys aren't going up to fucking anyone. So I think if you're going up to girls at the bar in the first place, whether you say hi, whether you say, can I buy you a drink, whether you use Nick's line, which is a great line, by the way.
Thank you.
I think you have a million times better of a shot.
Yeah. I mean, you
really don't have all that much competition because guys aren't going up to girls. It's not like 15 guys are going up to a girl in a night to tell her how pretty she is. She probably gets one a night.
The difference between nice guys who don't get girls and the nice guys who actually get girls is the process of being a little mean and taking action. For example, if you ask her if she's eaten today and she goes, oh, well, I had iced coffee and an almond. The girls don't like nice guys, dude, he's gonna go, aw, you should eat something. Meanwhile, the guy who's actually worth a is going to hear that she didn't eat anything and say, okay, get up. We're going to go get food. Being mean and taking action is still doing the actually nice thing. Because God forbid you show a little bit of assertiveness when it comes to caring for your girl's health. I don't want to hurt her feelings. I don't want to. This is why she doesn't like you. Because you're about things like this. You should eat though. She knows that. Do something about it. Take action.
Are you guys single?
Yes, sadly.
So you are meeting guys at bars and clubs and they are coming up and talking to you?
No. Guys do not come up to girls. I don't know who's teaching y'all, but
that part. Would you prefer that guys walked up to you?
Yes, but it depends. It's gotta be a good line. It's gotta be a good line. Yeah. Really strong line.
I think a guy walking up to you talking about, hi, how are you? My name is Joe. Yeah. What's good? Is a good line.
Yes.
What's good? Yeah. So what's your name?
If they notice that you're interested, if we're making eye contact across the room or something, if a random guy just comes up to you out of nowhere and you weren't giving him the signs that you wanted him to, that can be.
So I got tagged in this post and she did an experiment. She took one of her guy friends' information and made a Hinge account and decided that she was going to go dating as him on Hinge to see what it was like as a man dating in today's society. she's depressed. On day 3, she's depressed and she's ready to give up in less than 72 hours. Now, she said that her friend was a 6, right? But she said she's even getting rejected by 2s and 3s, that she got so desperate to get a match, she started swiping on or checking off hearting 2s and 3s just to get some movement, just to make herself feel better, just to get her in the game. And I'm going to tell you, gentlemen, this is where you go wrong. This is why being a passport bro is such a beautiful thing. Dating in America has gotten out of hand to the point where 2s, 3s, and ladies with very wide backs believe that they are in the higher echelon of the dating pyramid. So you might want to take this trip with us, passport bros, and go to a place where you are celebrated and wanted and not tolerated.
He goes, oh, well, like, I just like, I wanted to see you. I was like, no, you didn't. You just don't want to pay for Uber Eats. And so I'm done. I give up.
Honestly, you get what you deserve. You have 2 guys, 2 men, and you're trying to waste their time. You want to talk about reading the room when you can't even understand the book that you're reading right now. And that's have some common decency. You have the audacity to call somebody and say, can you come fix my stuff? No, I can't get out here. Here's a selfie to make sure that you understand that I am really where I say that I am. That's not enough. I'll call somebody else because I'm not only dedicating myself to you, I'm with somebody else. Because you see how she tried to gloss that over? Because you always got to have more than one. Well, I always got to have more than one too. More than one option. More time not to spend with you. So like I said, I won't be over there until I can get over there. You can sit there looking at a broken wall, or you can call the Geek Squad. It's your prerogative. But I'm not about to waste my time when you have somebody else on your phone. And not only do you not wait, you call them what seems like immediately or within the span of that day, 24 hours. And you expect me to be there for you? Now that's all right. Quid pro quo. You bring me something to eat, I come over and fix your stuff. Seems like a good deal. But these modern women today, women like this, want everything and want to reciprocate nothing. Good on you, both of my guys, for staying exactly where you are and letting this modern woman understand I have time to be spending with my friends and no time to be wasting on you. Modern women logic. I'm finding that a lot of these modern women are ignorant, extremely ignorant. Like they never seem to put themselves or understand that they're a part of like the nice guy doing stuff that, well, a nice guy's not really nice. He's really a jerk. And I think one woman was saying something to the effect of he gives and he gives and he gives expecting something in return, but I don't owe you anything. She started off by saying like he wasn't nice. He's actually a jerk. And then in the middle of her saying that, I was like, could it be that he's a jerk because he's been doing stuff for you? And instead of just saying, no, thank you, I appreciate it, but I can't accept it. I don't want you to, get out here and I just see us as friends, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't want you to try to give me flowers or presents or stuff like that. Hoping to have some sort of romantic relationship or romantic interest, because I don't even want to. I just want us to be friends. So I don't even want to go down that road. Of course you wouldn't say that. Of course you wouldn't say that. You would allow them to keep on doing that, and then at the end of them spending money, which they should catch the hint if they're smart, got nothing to do with you, but say, hey, I'm investing in this, there's no return, and just quit. I would hope they would do that, right? But some guys don't. But I would hope at some point in time you would say, hey, before I get myself in too deep and I say that he's a problem, it's just him, let's go ahead and nip this in the bud right now. But I noticed that a lot of modern women do not. And they'll, instead of telling that man like they tell TikTok, they'll get on here and talk about it. Number one. Number two, I think I heard another lady talking about men and, nice guys finish last, and you got it all wrong for the right man. I'm going to want flowers from him for the right man. I'm going to want this, and he better be giving me this. The problem is you guys are out here taking stuff from people that you don't like. You're taking stuff from people that you don't like. and it's making him think that you actually like him. That's where you, and then when a man gets angry because you've been taking stuff from him and you don't actually like him, and he's been investing in stuff thinking that you like him, because honestly and truly, if you're honest with yourself, you have been showing him a little bit of attention. And when he gets upset, well, I thought we were just friends. You thought? Did you ever communicate that you thought that y'all were just friends? Did you ever say that? Well, a man should be clear about his intentions. Verbally, you're talking about verbally. A man verbally should be clear about his intentions. True enough. But also, if the man is giving you gifts and he's taking you out and buying you stuff, you know that his boyfriend behavior. So his intentions and the way that he's acting towards you, because y'all like to see actions, his actions are saying, I actually like this woman. I'm investing in her. You know that man likes you. So yes, he's being clear. I'm giving you stuff, displaying my interest. And he didn't say it outright. Get a grip, man. Come on, guys.
This is going to get me in trouble, but nobody wants to talk about the female loneliness epidemic. They only want to talk about the male loneliness epidemic. If we were to actually unpack female loneliness, we would have to also look at the behaviors that contribute to it. It only takes one excruciating friendship or friend group experience for a woman to kind of want to wall herself off from friendship with other women. Women are often socialized and taught that relational harmony is a primary goal. So when there's any disagreement, it tends not to happen through direct conflict. It's more of like subtle shifting social dynamics. And yeah, sometimes the conflict is an inherent jealousy. Sometimes the conflict is a growing apart or a changing of opinions or beliefs. And even if it isn't intended to be malicious, the indirect nature of it can cause a lot of women to act like some shady. And all it takes is one bad experience with somebody acting like a shady for you to think isolation is better. And again, because this is all indirect, a lot of women are lonely inside their existing friendships, precisely because they have a lot of friendships that don't feel emotionally safe.
Oh, dating in 2026 is cooked. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. You got people out here manufacturing themselves. Fake bodies, fake lifestyles, fake personalities. And then they out here walking around like there's some prize no one can afford. Like, relax. You didn't build yourself. You bought the look. And now you want that premium treatment off a rented identity. Please make it make sense. You want dinner dates, gifts, princess treatment from day one, but you can't hold the conversation, can't bring peace, can't add value beyond how you look in a mirror. That's not a partner. That's a liability with good lighting. And don't get me wrong, ladies, y'all ain't safe either. You got dudes with no money, no discipline, no direction, but the audacity to expect loyalty, respect, and a woman to submit. To what exactly, my bro? Your potential? Everybody, both men and women, walking around overvaluing themselves and undervaluing what it actually takes to be in a real relationship. Y'all don't want love. Y'all don't. Y'all want benefits without responsibility. You don't want a partner. You want the experience. And the craziest part, the people asking for the most usually bring the least. That's why dating in 2026 feels too many actors and not enough real ones.
We need to talk about not all men, but always a man. Except for when it's a woman. I'm sorry, Casey Anthony, Sherry Papini, Ghislaine Maxwell. In those cases, there was a woman. Like, at least we're starting to acknowledge the not all men part, I guess. It's just so aggravating that we have yet another slogan that forces all men to wear the mantle and identity of the worst, most depraved minority of them, especially when it doesn't survive the other way around. And I don't even mean the gender swap. What I mean by that is that men also take up the majority of laborers who build infrastructure, the majority of firefighting personnel, and disproportionately work the world's most dangerous jobs. But when a baby is pulled out of a burning building, people don't say, not every man, but always a man. Y'all would hate that and immediately remind us that women are also capable of saving babies from burning buildings, even though statistically the patterns are the same. In fact, did you know that what the data and research actually points to is that it's more like not all men, only 1% of them? Multiple studies since the 60s have told us that only 1% of the population of all men is responsible for over half of all crimes. So it's really not true at all that all men are bad or dangerous. It's just that the small amount of bad and dangerous men are doing almost all of the bad and dangerous stuff. But definitely not all of it. We as women can't just shirk all of the blame for all of the bad and dangerous stuff onto men. That's bullcrap. Like, you were almost there. You finally had it. You finally said, not all men. Just leave it at that. Leave it at that. It's good. It's good there. Unless you want me to start all womaning stuff. No, you don't want me to paint women under the same monolithic umbrella? Okay, I thought so.
I cannot believe I'm reading this. Woman who claimed to have been attacked with a brick by a man, now charged with faking the entire thing, falsely raising $42K on GoFundMe. Ro, for some reason, I cannot tag you. I can't even find you. And I started following you and you followed me back when you first got back on TikTok. But girl, I went to bat for you. Like,
He denied you the access to her phone number. What is the entire
121K.
The sad thing about this is
people saw
there
me
were
defend
men
you.
standing around
Saw me
watching this happen.
defend you.
No one stepped in to help
121K
this woman.
people saw me defend
generalize
you.
the statement.
And now I'm
I don't
reading
really
this
give a rat's
shit.
ass who
You
gets
are
mad at
making
me.
it.
Men have become so weak to the point where
I pray that this is not, well, they said charges. So girl, you've been outed and you've obviously gotten the hell off of any social media. So, that shit just pissed me off. You make it so much harder for women to come forward when they actually are physically in any way, form, or fashion, verbally, whatever. You have literally just put black women back. You get what you deserve.
No, she didn't. Because there's some black women out here that know how to act like they have some sense. There's people out here that know how to act like they got some sense. And when they see this foolishness online, with you acting
Men, have you ever been talking to a girl and genuinely just like one day you woke up and you were like, you know what? I'm not really interested anymore. Does that happen? Has that happen? Do you just sometimes just like, you know what?
This does actually happen, but not for the reason that you think it happens. The reason why a man will go from being really interested in you, always reaching out, always continuing the discussion, to not doing that, it is because you are not reciprocating that energy. He feels like he's the only one that likes anyone in this whole dynamic. Because time and time again, he's the one that reaches out first. He's the one that continues the conversation. You show up with delayed responses, short responses that are not open-ended. You don't respond enthusiastically to him wanting to see you again, and you definitely don't plan actual dates. That sort of thing adds up over time. And even though a man will attempt to continue to pursue you over weeks, maybe even months, it starts to whittle down his confidence with you. He starts to really truly believe that you don't really like him that much. And you know, what is the reason for this? Why is he putting in all of this effort if you're not willing to reciprocate?
So all the men from my previous post saying that they have found peace by being alone and they're not trying to date because they just want peace. Are you trying to say that we don't bring peace to your life? I have to disagree. I do not think that if a woman that you so desired was available to you, you would choose peace over commitment, sex, good meals with conversation, and things like that. So, I'm going to call your bluff.
Ideally, guys want, they want a good woman and they want peace. They want both, right? The idea is that they would have a good woman who brings them peace, right? Not some, trashy, run the mouth, complain, nag, who doesn't bring them peace. Like in that case, they would rather just have the peace, honey.
I really don't know what's wrong with me. Why am I so scary?
She's very clean. She's very, what I would call pretty, very put together. And if a man is not that, it's going to take a not high value, but it's going to take a man that's really clean for her to pay attention to.
But yeah,
clean and put together.
Succeeded in many areas of my life, but relationships are really not happening for me. So at this point, I'm just thinking that, you know what, maybe it's not meant for me. Maybe I'm just meant to be by myself.
She pouts a lot.
The whole soulmate, love of my life, my best friend, whatever.
In my opinion.
I don't want a man who's not okay with me talking about my feelings or how I feel or asking questions or making.
A lot of the times men have this ideology that they're better because they provide, they protect, but a lot of you don't provide and don't protect anything. And then providing is not just providing financially. You need to provide her with peace. A lot of these times these men want you to give them peace, but they taking you through.
Well, let me ask you this, Keita. Keita, isn't that conditional on the man you pick? Because at the end of the day, if you're picking a man, or either you're tolerating a man that can't lead you, that isn't a good partner, wouldn't that be on the person that picked the man?
Absolutely, but I was more so speaking on this delusion that a lot of men have, right? I'm not talking about who you pick. I'm talking about the men who say, you know, I'm better just because of my existence. I want to see what you do. I want to see actions. You are not better than anybody just because you simply exist.
And I'm really glad that there's somebody out there that's being honest about the female loneliness epidemic, because a lot of these modern women like to sit up here and talk about it's men that are the issue, and it's men, of course, that are bringing it all on themselves. And men keep on trying to tell you, y'all have an issue. Y'all have an issue within yourselves. You guys are not good to your friends. You're not good in relationships. You're not good in a family setting. You're not good with your pets. You're not good anywhere. You're a terrible person. That's why I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm just trying to let you know the stuff that you're doing is sooner or later going to land you in a position to where nobody wants to be around you. That's how it's going to come about. These modern women, they be uniting against men. Oh, we're not going to take it from him. And the man hadn't even done anything. And I wish you would say that, wait a minute, he didn't do anything. Why are we mad at him? Out of the group. Oh, we just don't really even talk to her. We just don't really even go. And now you by yourself. Now you're trying to get into different groups. But the groups that you're going to, these modern women think the same way as the other group that you were in. No. I don't really like men like that. I don't really. No. You already said what you said. Right. And so now you would have to improve and go the other way and get in a group with healthy women. And a lot of times y'all not quite ready to do that because you're toxic within yourself. So you kind of got to drift out there, right? You kind of, well, I ain't really got nobody but myself. And so I'll go get me some cats and some dogs and some wine and, try to make the best situation. Really, honestly and truly, unless you get in a friend group with some of these, good women, you're not missing much. You'll just be hanging out with people that don't actually like you, spending money and time on people that don't actually like you. These modern women are ruthless.